Yo, what's happening? Today I'm going to be making mead. Now that it's winter, I'm taking a break from the van work and I'm going to start doing a mead series. And if you just stumbled across the mead video and you're also interested in the van conversion video, I'll link those videos down below. Making mead's a pretty simple process. You really only need 4 things. You need honey, you need water, and yeast. And a floofy dog to watch the process. Everybody has their own processes, but here I'll be showing you mine. This is what I'll be using to make 6 gallons of mead. Sanitation is a really important part. These are restaurant grade sanitation tabs that I'll be using to sanitize all my equipment. I use 2 of those and fill my 6-gallon fermenter about half of the way full, using hot water. Now I just make sure to fully submerge everything into the sanitizer water. The pot I'm going to use to heat up some water. A bowl for mixing yeast with hot water to activate it. A whisk for getting the honey thoroughly mixed in. A spoon for mixing the yeast, and a plate to set all my sanitized tools. The hydrometer for figuring out the alcohol content in the mead. You want to let everything soak in the sanitizer water for about a minute. Then I take it all out and let it fully dry. I use a rag soaked in the sanitizer water to wipe down anything that can't be fully submerged in the sanitizer. Now I fill the sink with hot water that I'm going to use to submerge my honey jug to help thin it out. I fill the pot with about half a gallon of water that I'm going to heat up to mix the honey with. At this point in the game, I can ditch the sanitizer water. Now I'm going to use some of that hot water for my yeast activation. It can't be too hot though, so I gotta watch the temperature and wait till it gets down to about 99 degrees. Now while the water is heating on the stove and the yeast water is cooling down, I can start filling up my fermenter with the rest of the water. Now the water on the stove's hot enough, but not boiling, and I can start mixing in the honey. Now the water for the yeast activation is cool enough and I can start slowly mixing in the yeast. You want to make sure you do it slow enough or you end up with clumps like what I've got on my spoon. You usually end up with a little honey left in the jug, so what I do is I mix in some water and shake it up really good to get that last little bit of honey. Here's the honey water nice and mixed up. Now I can pour my honey water mixture in with the rest of the water. Using the hydrometer, I take an original gravity measure, and then I'll take another one at the end when it's done fermenting. And with that, I can calculate what the alcohol content is. That done, it's time to add the yeast water. I always make sure to mix it up again and, get it nice and aerated so that way the yeast has plenty of oxygen for its fermentation. And you can make mead without the raisins, but I like to add it because it just adds extra nutrients that's going to help the yeast. And same with the raisins. This you don't have to do, but these are black tea bags. It just helps add to the nutrients for the fermentation. Now time to just seal it up and wait.